Welcome back. We got a new Sendcut Civivi and WE knife drop. They have the brand new Sendcut Skeleton. It's a very slim, sleek knife with an extremely slicey hollow ground clip point blade. Super lightweight, great EDC size, deep carry clip that's reversible, smooth button lock with a total length of 7.6 inches and a 3.3 inch blade. These are super affordable at $40 and my review should be dropping very soon. Then we have another design coming from Kyle Lamb. This is the Civivi Modern Hunter. You have that same minimal kydex, comes with the soft loops. Plus, if you remove the soft loops and you want to ride this in the pocket, you have the little clip right here that is supposed to allow you to be able to wave it out of the pocket. However, this one doesn't have the pocket clip like the original one. I wish they did have the pocket clip on this one as well, but they don't. This one's a good bit bigger than Kyle's original design. This is the Soken. This one's more as an EDC blade. This one's more of like an EDC slash tactical slash woods knife, I guess. Coming in at 8.38 inches long. It has a 4.12 inch drop point blade. Got a full review dropping either today or sometime soon. Your blade steel's Nitro V. From here to here is a hollow grind to this secondary bevel right here. Then you have a flat grind that has a micro bevel. So very interesting. Never have seen that before, or not that I can recall. And we'll see how it performs whenever my full review drops. Today we're going to be reviewing the new Civivi Faeger. This is a fantastic size for an EDC knife at 7.1 inches. It has a 2.93 inch drop point blade. Nice satin finish on this particular variation. Small row of jimping there. That is functional. It's just not a very long row of jimping. You have a very needle-like bulky tip there. Great for piercing, and it's a nice low tip, so doing detailed drag cuts is going to be great as well. You have just a very slight bit of belly to that tip, so making cuts on a flat cutting surface is going to be good as well, along with your in-hand cuts. You got a top swedge that comes down to thin out that tip area, and we have a good sharpening choil. That plunge starts to thicken up about right here where my fingernail is, and you should have quite a bit of sharpening life before you have to worry about that at all. And your blade steel on this one is 14C 28N. Great budget steel, easy to sharpen, takes a stupid sharp edge whether you give it a polished edge or a nice toothy edge, and it's a rather tough steel with good corrosion resistance. Your blade stock thickness on this one is 0.12 inches, and you have a nice deep hollow grind that comes down to around 16 thousandths behind the edge, so this one should be a great performer, and we're going to find out. This one came with a remarkable edge out of box from Civivi, and I don't know about y'all, I love when Civivi gives us these nice hollow grinds. They just slice so well, and this one is definitely slicing well. It's a pretty compact knife. I just get a 4-finger grip on it, and so far comfortable, but I do have gloves on, so we'll wait and see how that is whenever I test for ergos. The little choil area is not too big to where I felt like I was going to get hung up in that area, especially when I'm all the way up against that flipper tab. You're not that far away from that edge. Now we're testing the ergos. Start out light, and yeah, that edge is just wanting to catch into the wood. I'm having to use super light pressure not to bury it into it quickly. And you know, that's why I love these low tip drop points. It's easy to maneuver that edge. And the more and more I increase pressure, the deeper it wants to bite. And I didn't really have any hot spots. I could feel the pocket clip wasn't bad at all. And I was able to get a lot of force into that wood. Right away, as you see, it is slicing effortless through the 1/2-inch sisal rope. Just the right amount of belly. Any less belly than this, then it would have probably been a little bit difficult, being that you have the flipper tab that's contacting the cutting board. But I'm able to get about 3/4 of that edge onto the flat surface before I hit that flipper tab. And this one has good bite to it, and it is just gliding through it. Now, you know, that's not always the case. Civivi is hit or miss with their super sharp edges, at least the ones I've tested. On the other hand, when it comes to Sendcut, they almost always send me out a ridiculously sharp knife. I don't know, this the same guy sharpening the Sencuts and the Civivis and the Wee knives. It's two different guys, but I don't know if they just the whatever method they're using doesn't work as good on the 14C and the Nitro V. But yeah, this one it did. As you can see, using that tip is very easy, being that it's low like that, and nothing gave it any trouble. The dense materials were fine, and the edge held on to the very end. It's sharp, like I said, very sharp, but once again, still not sharp as the Civivi the Sencut that they sent out. So I'm still happy with the way this one performed, and it was comfortable. Great performance once again. Now let's take a look at the deployment and action on this one. So you have a flipper tab with some jimps there. Well dialed detent. This thing rockets out. You also have thumb studs. Now the top of those studs are a little bit slick. Not terrible because I can get underneath them right here. But I have slipped off a couple of times. You can easily reverse flick it, and this thing rockets out, especially with those thumb studs. Nice action there. If I want to slow roll it, I can as well. And on the left side, I can easily deploy it. Flip it. Perfectly tuned detent for both deployment methods. Now let's take a look at the handle area. So you have black peel ply G10 on this one. I love this diamond texture milled into the G10. Perfect amount of grip without being overly aggressive. Then you have this nice chamfer plus softening on that edge, so you don't have any hard edges anywhere. Nothing poking or prodding me. You have nice crisp Torx T8 hardware, T8 pivot, everything's flush. Your G10 scales are a little bit shadow boxed to your stainless steel liner. Just means stainless steel liners sit a little bit wider than the actual G10. However, they are rounded over, so they're nice and comfortable in hand. When it came to the ergos on this one, this nice little gentle arc right here fills out the hand nicely and kind of conforms to the palm. It was nice and comfortable. I can feel the pocket clip, but it wasn't a hot spot for me. This pinch grip is nice. If I wanted to do like a draw grip, that's comfortable here as well. You kind of feel the flipper tab, but it's not terrible. If I wanted to do the reverse gas station knife fight grip, I could still kind of do it. Not anything I will ever do, but for a medium-sized knife, I thought it's got enough handle, just enough for my medium-sized hands, and I have just a little bit left over. If you have large, extra large hands, it may be a little cramped for you. You have a tip-up deep carry pocket clip. It's not inset into the G10, however, they did countersink those screws. I had no issues with it getting hung up in that area or anything, and we got enough ramp to go in and out of my pants easily. There is no flat spot underneath that texture, so it'll probably eventually become a pocket shredder. It is reversible. Excellent job. You have flow-through construction, 2 hourglass standoffs, a lanyard post in the back right here, and tons of internal weight relieving to bring down that weight as much as they possibly could, bringing this one to 3.21 ounces. So nice and lightweight. Your balance point is right there, so it's not butt heavy or blade heavy. And this one, like I said, is a button lock. You have the nice recess spot, little concaving on that button, so it's nice and comfortable. I do have a little bit of button stick on this one. It's not terrible. As long as it's not any worse than that, I'm fine with it because that gives me a little bit more confidence that it's locked up securely, especially with a button lock. I've never had one of Civivi's button lock fails on me, and I've spine whacked every single one of them. Lockup on this one is rock solid, no movement up or down, left or right. Exactly what I'm looking for. Now for some quick size comparisons, it's a good bit smaller than the Ontario Rat Model 1 and very similar in length to the Ontario Rat 2. Also very similar in length to the Cold Steel Mini Recon 1 and the QSP Penguin. And lastly, it's just a hair shorter than the Civivi Cubit, and it's just about identical in length to the Kaiser Drop Bear. Since no knife's perfect, what are my nitpicks and complaints? Like I said, the top of this thumb stud is a little slick. It's not terrible, especially whenever I get my fingers underneath it. I don't really have that much of an issue. Like I said, you have a very slight audible stick. As long as it's not any worse than that, I'm good with it. Like I said, it gives me more confidence that this one's locked up securely. Maybe inset that clip into the G10. And the only T6 hardware you have is pocket clip. It'd be nice if they were all T8. However, you don't have to take this clip off to take apart this knife. So that's just a very minor nitpick. But one of my biggest gripes is not as bad on this one, but why? Why do they do this? You got a stop pin, there's your edge. Now, you're going to have a good bit of sharpening life on this one before that could possibly become an issue. Right there is where it's hitting. But why would you do that? I just don't get it. We're seeing that so much. We never used to see that before. Or at least maybe I was missing it. I don't know. But yeah. So will it become an issue? I don't know. But if it does, then you'd be contacting these backspacers, because that's what that stop pin's helping out with, so it doesn't collide with this backspacer. But other than that, I really like the knife. It's a fantastic slicer, versatile blade, great action. I love the texturing on these G10 scales. It carries well. It's lightweight. You know, on paper, it's a great EDC knife. If none of those things I talked about is a deal breaker, then I can absolutely recommend this one. If you are interested in picking up one of these, I will have it linked down below in the description. It will be an affiliate link, so if you want to help support what I do here in this channel, that helps me pay for my testing materials, I can't thank you enough. If not, no sweat at all. So that's going to wrap up today's video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave those down below, and I'll do my best to get back with you. I hope every single one of y'all is having a fantastic day today. Remember, keep these blades sharp. Smile more. Peace.